Hey, let's look at something called resistance. Okay, and we can actually look at electricity in terms of like water flow or even blood flow. So a resistance is something that's blocking the flow of electrons. So some substances, such as wood, styrofoam, and such, are very resistive. Okay, they don't promote free electron flow. So, some very low resistance materials might be like gold, silver, copper, anything in the metal family um, would allow for a good current flow, good flow of electrons. So, resistance, if you think of it in terms of a water pipe or even an artery, I'm going to draw a cross sectional area of a 25-year-old artery. Okay, it's cross-sectional area. Then I'm also going to draw a cross-sectional area of an artery of a 75-year-old. Okay, so in terms of electricity, okay, we can think of electricity as a flow of even the flow of a liquid. This is going to have much less resistance. Okay, this one's going to have more resistance. Okay, more resistance. So this one's going to allow the flow of the blood. This one's not going to allow for the flow of that much blood. So the current, if we look at the current of this one can be higher. The current on this one is a bit lower because of the resistance. Okay, this is like a plaque buildup. So we compared electricity to the size, the cross-sectional area, the size of a pipe or a tube, or in this case, an artery. So we've got to know what voltage is. So voltage is it's just a simple way to describe voltage would be back to the old water pipe. Okay, if we have a pipe here, we cut it cross-sectional area of the pipe. Okay, maybe I'll even draw the pipe out like this. Okay, the cross-sectional area of this pipe has a certain amount of water flow that could go through it. Okay, the cross-sectional area of this pipe, okay, this one doesn't have so much potential for water flow. So we'll say the voltage is high here. Okay, the potential for electricity to flow through that's high. The voltage potential for the electricity to flow through this one is low. So low voltage, high voltage. So we can consider voltage to be like the size of the vessel, I would say, to carry this electricity through. In terms of, if we look at it in terms of a water pipe. So voltage does make a difference as to how much current can flow through it. And we can combine these two ideas using something called Ohm's law. Okay, so that's named after somebody that came up with this law. But he said that the current, that's current, equals is equivalent to the voltage. So we do have a connection here. We can get more current through a higher voltage. Divide that by our resistance, because in this voltage there is a resistance depending on the type of material that you're going to use. So resistance, this R, okay, is actually is going to be denoted by what we call a little omega there. Okay, and then this here is going to be something that's called an ohm. Okay, this is an ohm. So if I give you a resistance number, a voltage number, you should be able to come up with a current number. And also be able to rearrange this equation as needed. So look, if we had no resistance, the current would be equivalent to the voltage. But because there is a resistance factor in there, the higher the resistance, the lower the current. Okay, the lower the resistance, the higher the current. Okay, so the resistance is like the is a limiting factor here. Okay, so we're going to take a look at some problems there, and I hope that you can understand electricity in terms of in terms of water flow. It's the best way to do it because electrons are very hard to imagine.